thing ever to be able to really create massive transformation like that. And I think that you will be able to connect on the highest level. So, what that means for us to really do this show, you will notice that I'm gonna show you certain tools, things that you really want to do to help yourself, like this. You want to have that. I was just speaking to somebody, highly spiritual dude. I was telling him how it's important to have these type of things because there's a difference that they make. Now, our goal, our intention is to really share information that's causing transformation for this generation and the generation to come. Now, anytime that we're here to sow about natural health, is because we want to make sure we give you access to something that is at a different level. We want to make sure that you understand natural health at a different level. We want to make sure that you know natural health is not plain. And when you decide that you want to create massive transformation for yourself, it makes sense. So let's say nutrition. So let's start with nutrition. You want to do two-third alkaline, one-third acidic. Let me say it again. Two-third alkaline, one-third acidic. Two-third alkaline, one-third acidic. When you do that, what does it do? It gives you an opportunity for your health to actually be transformed. When you have two-third alkaline, one-third acidic, it also gives you an ability so that your body can be at a highest level. And that's one of the reasons that we love to create the opportunity to be in this life. Now, one of the things that I love about natural health is that it gives you access that you never thought you would have. It gives you the opportunity to make sure that your health gets transformed. Now, why don't I do something a little different? Now, I know sometimes when we talk about eight laws of health, some people have a different thing that they think about that. Why don't I do the show a little bit different? Wouldn't you think? Let's do that. Why don't I pick one of the herbs that I love, and which I think a bunch of you that should be on. For my folks that cannot sleep, I'm not one of them. I'm telling you, I was fixing to go to bed, but I said that, you know what, I've been meaning to do this show because my coach told me from 9 to 12, this is the best time for me to do the show because I could start a side hustle. I could sell this, I could sell that, I can do this, I can do that. A lot of people are online, they're looking for something. So that's why I'm here. So if you didn't know why I'm here, now you know. All right. Besides that, here's what's important. Okay, are you there? So I'm gonna speak about a herb that's called chamomile, and then after that, I am gonna go back to the eight laws of health, and you'll understand why the eight laws of health actually really make sense. Okay, are you there? All right, let's do this. So there are some people they say to themselves that they have what they are a night. They're night people, right? Oh, I can function great in the night. You're right, you can. You know why? Because you said so. Let me repeat again. You function very well in the night. Why? Because you said so. Well, you know, at night, that's when I want to do this, I want to do that. And at night, I feel like I have more energy and I could stay up and do a bunch of stuff. What's going on, Wayne? I am so thankful the fact that I have the ability to actually really do this. Now, get this. There's three lies, I'm going to say it again, three lies that the system have told you and it got invented through your language. The lie, first of all, is that, what up, brother? The lie, the lie starts out with what we call that you're separated. Separation from your creator. No, I'm telling you, your creator exists within. When you understand that the creator exists within, you know what that does for you? It gives you an opportunity to understand. Let me give you an example. I have artists on the line. They could tell you, how do you know? Understand this. The creator will always have its name in its creation. The painter is always going to sign its painting. So, which means we are the creation of our creator. So, therefore, The signature of our Creator abides within us. So let's talk about the herbs, right? So in Genesis 1:29, it says, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed. That means any healing, anything you want to create for yourself, it exists in the herbs. It says, to you it shall be food. This is what gives us the authority to talk about that. So we said we were going to talk about chamomile, and then after that, I'm going to speak about what we call the 8 laws of health, which is nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, fresh air, rest, okay? Sunshine, temperance, fresh air, rest, and trust in divine God. All this thing is something very important. So let's go to that chamomile. Chamomile is used for any kind of childhood or baby complaints. Do you have any baby that's having a complaint? Any baby that you have that has a complaint, you definitely want to use chamomile, especially fever, teething, or any nervine issue for all ages. So if you're on this live today and you know that you have issues that has to do with nerves, you can't sleep, you're stressed. I was just speaking to somebody that I know. The guy's younger than me. He's already having like a bunch of white stuff. Why? He's so full of worries. Understand, guys, this life is so weird that a lot of us, when we get separated from our Creator, or we allow people to make us believe that we're separated from our Creator, therefore, it gives us to have a disease called worryation. When I used to preach in prisons, that's one of the words one of the guys said, the inmates. He said that there's a big disease out there, it's called worryation. And this guy was very, very, very well versed, very educated. He said, worry worries the soul. Imagine a lot of people are worrying about what's going on right now, what's going on in Iran, what's going on in America, what's going on in your house. Some people might be on the live, then they say, shucks, I don't even have water. Shucks, I don't even have light. Some people are still in the cold and they don't have heating. And that's why I want to say to you that anytime that you have any sorts of worry, any type of nerve issue of all ages, good old chamomile will put that to rest. You're probably dealing with certain situation that you don't know when things gonna change for you. It's important to understand chamomile has the power to reverse all these nonsense. Now, the part of the chamomile that is used is literally the flower and the herbs. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm just telling you, these things, they make a huge difference. And then you will notice why we actually do this type of show. Now, not only that, I want to let you know chamomile has been known to be effective to release a person from addiction of various drugs such as smoking tobacco, alcohol, and many others. Now, when I say to people, I know how to help you with your alcohol issue, I know how to help you with your smoking issue, I know how to help you with your you know what issue. In Creole, we call it paila. So I just want to let you know herbs have the ability to really help that. Chamomile gives a person a calm feeling without itself becoming an addiction. You know, there are some people, have you ever sat with somebody and then you're in a car and then the person is shaking their leg like this? They're shaking, they're shaking, they're shaking, they're shaking, they're shaking. Now, some of it is a bad habit, right? But also, there's some people, it's an issue. They're being dominated by certain things and they cannot find a solution. Imagine if you're in a church with somebody and you're sharing the seat, and the person is shaking, and you're like, whoa, whoa, you're shaking too much. I'm just telling you that things like that happen. There are people that are so stressed that they have to have an outside uh, outlook of it, because you get to see it that way. It also has been known since the Roman times, with no record of ill effects. They tell you that those herbal stuff, such as chamomile, it has the ability to really help people with their addiction without any side effects. This plant truly belongs to people and anyone who would try to take it from you. Probably doesn't like. I want to let you know that the Roman ladies used chamomile externally to rinse for their hair, to bring out blonde highlights. Among chamomile, many virtues are calming and irritated stomach, and at the same time softening of the skin. I remember I was in a hotel, and one of the things that they had as an option, you could either use lavender or chamomile, or a combo of both, especially for the shampoo, and also the body wash, just because it has the ability to calm nerves. So when the person is about to go to sleep, they're definitely gonna have a good night's sleep. There's some people that's always using, understand this, melatonin. They want to use melatonin, but guess what? They want to use melatonin. Melatonin doesn't work for them, because they have to use a combination to calm down the nerve. That's why people would use tryptophan to help with the stress. Now, don't get me wrong. There was too many noise around me. That show should have been done at 9. Okay? I was trying to support my cousin. I didn't want the show to be at the same time. But this show got to be done at 9. Why? Because around this time, I make sure I go to bed. But we had a lot of late consultation. That's the reason I'm still up. And I said, you know what? I really want to go to bed, but I got to speak to you guys for a few minutes. I'm not going to stay long. And I promise you I'll do the show a lot earlier, because definitely chamomile is actually even putting me to sleep. Now, understand this. Chamomile has a bunch of virtues, especially for kids who have irritated stomach. I was just speaking to a mother today that told me how fragile her kid gets and how he's not feeling so great. And I told her, it's very simple. You could use chamomile. Chamomile will do the work. And that's one of the reasons that we like to talk about these things, because they make a world of difference. Now, understand this. Chamomile already told you that it works for any kind of childhood stuff. I also spoke to a mom that was saying that, hey, you know what? I would love to do detox. How should I do it? Do I do it while I'm breastfeeding? I said, yeah, as long as you do it light. You can't go too hard, because when you go too hard, it won't be a good situation. That's why we always recommend go as light as possible when you're actually doing when you are breastfeeding. Okay. Now, if a person having issues with gas, if you know somebody that has gas right now, make sure you tell them to get chamomile. Because some people, they have a bunch of gas, which creates a lot of pain. When you have gas that's creating a lot of pain, it's not a good situation. That means we got to do something different. Chamomile is a herbal that is so faithful, and it always willing to help your companion. Whether you have gas in the abdomen, you have measles, you have stomach pain, teething pain, earache, colic abdominal pain, I want to let you know that chamomile has the power to actually do that type of work. And that's one of the reasons we kind of like that. You tend to have issues in your neck, you have certain issues with your health, you definitely want to use chamomile at that level because chamomile has the ability to do that. And that's one of the reasons we take time to really share those type of information because they definitely make a world of difference. Now, if you know somebody that's actually dealing with that type of nonsense, would you definitely give them an opportunity to create a difference for their lives? That's something that is really major, right? Okay, so let's do that. Now, you have the ability to apply the herbs, okay, in combination, whether it's a liquid or capsule. All these things, they have the ability to even help people who have bruise, sprain, and it can prevent gangrene. Do you know anybody that had issues for a while and they need herbal remedy to help them with the gangrene type of situation? This is something that you want to do. Now, since I did say I'm not going to stay long, why? Because, hey, brother got to hit the bed. And you'll be surprised. You know why I'm able to do that? Think again. What is this? Okra water. Why do you think we do this? It's not only okra that's in it. You see? You see? That's what. It's very simple. You know what it is? Let me tell you what it was. It was garlic. So in the okra water, we also have garlic. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can even put um, clove. You can even put uh, seeds of papaya. All these things are good remedy for you to do. So that's why we're there speaking about that. Because when you already know what to do, especially when you have a child that has fever or having cold, definitely you want to use chamomile because it also helps with people who have convulsion. And in 3 minutes, we're going to really finish off because I'm giving myself probably 5 minutes to hit the sheets before midnight. Last time we did the midnight prayer. I get that, but hey, brother got to go. And that's why I want to make sure I do this a little earlier so that we can use the maximum energy for what we're doing. So I mentioned to a lot of people on the 9th of this month, there's a lot of new things that's going to happen. So we want to make sure you understand that we're going to create massive transformation at the highest level, and that's why we're actually doing that. So I want to thank all the people who are doing the likes, the love, and all these cool stuff. It really helps. And hey, I know it might be late, so you don't want to send a live to anybody. Just do a repost. You don't have to bother anybody. Just do a repost, and then some people will actually really get to see it. And if you want to get something different, always remember you can go to my YouTube page. You will see all the shows that we typically do, and we have a bunch of them. Some of them even have screen next to them. That's what we can't wait to give you the week following that. We got to speak to so many cool people tonight, people who are really looking for something different. They're looking for their health to be restored, and that's why we do this. So, since I said I was going to tell you about the 8 laws of health, I'm going to do it really fast. So, one of the reasons we're doing this is because we have something called live blood analysis. Whenever I go to all the churches around the world, you see, I'm putting into existence around the world, we make sure we do a test called live blood analysis. Live blood analysis allows us to check the person's blood to see exactly what type of issues that they're having. Well, the issues that they're having, it gives us the ability to see exactly what's going on. And can't promise you that we will be doing the show in English every day, but we'll give you a little bit of here and there. We'll make sure we drop some videos for you so that you can really go learn on the highest way, because it's so essential that you learn how to help yourself. That's why we always talk about that little pamphlet, 90 essential nutrients that your body needs. Definitely. Right now they're saying 93, but still work with me on this, which is 60 minerals, um, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acid, and also the last piece is 2 to 3 essential fatty acid. So when you're looking at all this, I spoke to a lady today. She says, all these stuff I was saying, they have them. Remember I told you there's 7 things, ways that those folks really manipulate you and really make you have issues with your health. You remember them? We talked about anger, resentment, revenge, mysticism, right? All this is something that's real. We talked about shame, emotional pain, right? Vindication. A lot of times, all these things, they matter. And that's why we take time to really share information at that level for you. Now, who would you rather be? Would you rather be a person that's taking care of yourself or a person that's not taking care of yourself? I told the story about that lady that wanted a Hummer. That was her dream car. She ended up in what? She ended up in, you ready? She ended up in exactly what we told her not to do. We told her that in 30 days she was going to be on a wheelchair. She had an opportunity to change that. She didn't. So when it happened, that's when she came and said, hey, can you help me? The damage has already been done. You see, when you have the opportunity to do something, do it then. Don't be reactionary to your health. When you reactionary to your health, is the worst situation ever. And that's one of the reasons that we create that transformation for you. Now, I want you to make sure you get this and get this at the highest level. Okay? Listen to this: nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, trust in divine God. Do you want to know how that's done? It's very simple. So tomorrow we are going to do a show a lot earlier. Just be on the lookout so that I can actually share that information with you. Nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, trust in divine God. I am so glad I was able to really share this with you. Let's close off with prayer and let's take it home. Father God, we are so thankful for the opportunity to come and share a quick word. We know that you have the opportunity to create massive transformation right now. And we pray in our assembly that all our folks may be in the possibility to restore their health at the highest level. We know that you have the ability to do so, and bless them. May the people who can't see that they see, the people that are ill, restored, the people that are brokenhearted, may be restored on the highest level. We know that you have the power to do so in the mighty name of Yeshua. Amen. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.